Good afternoon and welcome to the April 27th meeting of the Facilities Committee. Mr. Helms, Mrs. May, and I are on here with Zoom. I call the meeting to order. Miss Merrill can't make it. She had a death in the family. So I need a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Next on the agenda is the meeting minutes from March 23rd. I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
That's 3-0. Next up is the Parkwood Middle HVAC bids.
Okay, HVAC ceiling lighting replacement project at Parkwood Middle School, that bid on April 4th. There are future phases to that project that do rely on 2023 CIP funding, and that's going to be bid separately. As bid, the project is within the 2021 CIP remaining project budget of $2.1 million. Staff requests the staff requests the committee to forward to the board the bid as provided by Hvac Contracting, Inc. in the total amount of $1,483,116. The bid tab is attached. We've used this company in the past, and we can answer any questions.
If no questions, I need a motion to send it to the full board.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Next is paving bids for Mr. Burnett.
This is paving at Cuthbertson Middle School, Shiloh Valley Elementary School, Weddington Elementary School. Those bids were received on April 4th. We have a list of the project, the bid, the budget, and the funding source, and a table given the type of bid this was. Hopefully this format is good, because I do like this format.
I like this format a lot, and I think we should do it for even the one, because it's easier to say. So on like the last one for the HVAC and stuff for Parkwood, we could have done that too. So I would like to see that every time. It's so easy to look at it. This is the budget, this is the bid, and we understand it. So thank you.
On this meeting, we have 13 bids, and that Parkwood one was done before this. And once I came up with this format for this particular bidding, I liked it and just kept on going with it. But as bid, the projects are over budget. Staff proposes 2021 CIP, it's expansion renovation category savings, and 21-22 expansion renovation category savings to make up the difference. That savings was $229,521 and $55,800. Staff requests the board award the bid as provided by Hvac Contracting, Inc. in the total amount of $810,657.
I need a motion to send this to the full board.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Next up is Waxhaw Elementary restroom bids.
Replacement for walls and floor finishes at 3 sets of group restrooms, bid on April 19th. DCS provided the lowest responsive base bid at $180,443. The base bid is within the remaining project budgeted funds. Staff requests the board award the base bid as provided by DCS and the total amount of $180,443.
And
We've used this company before.
Okay.
It's Dave's Contracting Services.
Okay. Okay, anybody have any questions? If not, we'll entertain a motion to send it to the full board.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Next up is Western Union HVAC bids.
This HVAC system replacements at the gym and auditorium that bid on April 4th. The project as bid is over budget. Staff proposes utilizing savings from fiscal year 2021 CIP building systems category savings. Staff requests the board approve the bid as provided by Steel Mechanical Services LLC in the total amount of $348,000. We did pursue, we're using $213,000 of savings.
So are you seeing that we're getting bids above what our budget is, given what's going
A
on
lot
in the
of these are,
marketplace?
yes.
Question
And
with
so-
this one, the gym was like way over budget, so I'm trying to figure out why that is.
No,
That
the
was
auditorium was.
Yeah,
No,
that was-
oh, you're right, no.
I had the same question.
Yeah, that was scope. So the original scope was more of a component change. As we got into that, it was obvious that really needed to have the system change. So we did change at the gym, we changed that system, and at the auditorium, we had the opportunity to have a lesser price at the auditorium and go back with the same devices, the same unit ventilators. But we can't really service those unit ventilators very well as they are positioned. So it's a different approach, and so it was more expensive. Basically the same thing with the gym.
Any questions? Have we used Steel Mechanical Services
Yes.
before? Okay. So I will entertain a motion to send it to the full board.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
3-0, thank you. Next is Sun Valley Middle School flooring bids.
These bids were received on April 26th. It includes both the flooring replacement and necessary abatements. So it's two separate bids, two separate awards. As bid, the project is within budget, meaning both those contracts are within the budgeted funds. Staff requests the board award the bids as provided by Bonnets Inc. and Hvac LLC to include all bid alternates and the total amounts of $88,770 and $48,335 respectively.
And we've used those as well.
Yes.
Okay. Does anyone else have any question? If not, I'll entertain a motion to, oh, sorry, Matt.
Well, where's this at in Sun Valley? What locations?
If you look at the attachments, we do have a map showing.
Okay, let's see it now. Sorry.
areas. So it's, if you're familiar with Parkwood, so Sun Valley is the same. So it's the floor replacement would be in the 3 pods. That's base bid. Alternate 1 was the CTE area up at the front of the school. And alternate 2 was the 200 building, the circulation area.
With the other question I had too, with Parkwood and Piedmont being the same design, are they due for flooring or have they been done recently?
I don't believe we've done Piedmont yet. If Danny, you're on, if you know different, just let me know or let us know. But I'm not aware.
No, Piedmont's not been done yet either.
Okay.
So Sun Valley's the first?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. If no other questions, I'll entertain a motion to send it to the full board.
So moved.
So, second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
3-0, thank you. Next is the Weddington High flooring bids.
Yes, that's also bid April 26th. Bradshaw Flooring and Acoustical Inc. and Hvac LLC provided the low bids. As bid, the projects are within budget. Same as before. So an abatement bid and the flooring bid. So staff requests the board award the bids as provided by Bradshaw Flooring and Acoustical Inc. and Hepico LLC to include all bid alternates and the total amounts of $212,125 and $7,800 respectively.
But what type of abatement are we talking about?
It's VCT, most likely mastic underneath, but
Okay.
it is floor related.
Okay.
And it's just specific areas. And carpet glue.
Any other questions?
None.
Okay, need a motion to send this to the full board?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
3-0, thank you. Next is Wingate Elementary flooring bids.
Also bid April 26th. This project as bid is within the budgeted funds. Staff requests the board award the bids as provided by Bonnets Inc. and Contaminant Control Inc. To include all bid alternates and the total amounts of $102,060 and $18,590 respectively.
Any questions? If not,
No.
I'll take a motion to send it to the full board.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
3-0, thank you. Next, Sun Valley Middle and Wesley Chapel Elementary window bids.
These window bids were received on April 25th. Davidson Sash and Door Inc. provided the bid. As proposed, the project exceeds the combined remaining project budgeted funds. We needed to go into savings for $195,030 from fiscal year 1920 CIP. Staff requests the board award the base bid as provided by Davidson Sash and Door Inc. in the total amount of $289,530.
So there's two reasons that it's over budget, right? The cost of materials were higher, but also we're doing more windows at Sun Valley Middle.
Yes.
Okay. Any questions? Make a motion to go to the full board.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
3-0, thank you. Next is the fire equipment inspections.
This was bid on April 12th. And to note, this is not CIP funds. This is operating funds. Staff requests the board award the bid as provided by Carolina Fire Technologies in the total amount of $149,710. And this is for annual inspections and semi-annual inspections. And we have a list of what that scope is on as part of the bid document.
Okay. Any questions? I'll entertain a motion to send it to the full board.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Next up is scoreboard bids.
These bids were received on March 25th. It was by way of a cooperative purchasing network. Daktronics provided the bid. As bid, it's within budget. So staff requests the board award the bid as provided by Daktronics Inc. in the total amount of $157,599, excluding taxes.
Okay. Any questions? If not, I would entertain a motion to send it to the full board.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. 3-0, thank you. Next is the reassignment, the second reading for, sorry, my papers are sticking together. Bedford Towns, townhouses next to Solis Apartments. So,
So this, as you mentioned, is the second reading.
right.
And
So we just need a motion to send this to the full board.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
3-0, thank you. Next up is the land at Cata. The request that we got to sell some land, correct?
That's correct, Ms. Chair. So we do have a copy of a letter that we received at the March 2022 Board of Education meeting from Mr. Kelly Bird at the Gordon Funeral Service, where he has asked for consideration about selling a parcel of land that's on the Cata property. We've reviewed this. There's a couple things that staff has noted in our recommendation, and we recommend not selling the land at this time because the Cata property is currently a no net gain status on impervious area. We're doing some expansion. We're doing some work out there to the tracks now. Every piece of impervious surface we put in, we have to remove a piece of pervious surface. So we are no net gain at that site now. So any expansion to Cata or Wolf or the PDC, are going to need this area to be used in the calculation. So that's one of the reasons for the declination or recommended not selling it. The other is that by North Carolina general statute, any property that we deem that we surplus has to be offered to Union County first. And then if they decline the property, then it would have to go through an upset bid process, and we wouldn't be able to guarantee who is going to own that property. So we can't outright sell the property to somebody without going through a bid process. And so without having that ability to determine who's going to own the property, we recommend not selling the property at this time.
Any questions? So we have to do nothing. So there's no motion. Or do we want to send this to the full board to see what? I would assume that we just let it die here. No?
That
I
would
would
be your
recommend-
pleasure. Yeah, we're not.
Pardon?
I would recommend not sending it to the full board.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Is that a motion?
Yes.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
3-0 not to send it. Thank you. Next up is this sewer easement request at Kensington. This came before us back in July of 2021.
That's correct, Madam Chair. The Union County Department of Public Works approached us back in February, late February, as a follow-up to a meeting that was held last July, in which they had asked for a sewer easement on the Kensington Elementary School property. The direction that we got then was that we needed to go back and try to determine another method for them to get sewer to their, or to access sewer to their property. They did not come back to us until February. As I mentioned, it was late February, so we've had some discussions back and forth with them. And today we're bringing to you a location that the same location they proposed, but in addition to that, there's some other things to go along with. They have agreed to connect our private sewer line to this public sewer line, which is a pretty decent cost that we would not have to incur. And additionally, we would have about 400 linear feet of private sewer line that we would no longer have to maintain. So currently, the line that runs along the back of Kensington Elementary School is ours to maintain. This would now tie into the public sewer line, which the county would obtain the maintenance of. This had been erroneously reported or had been discussed in some other public meetings that this board had declined this offer. This board's never declined this offer to grant this easement. It was never asked, staff never made a recommendation, nor did the board ever vote on it. So I do want to clarify that as a point of clarification. The staff is recommending that the grant of that the board grant this grant of easement contingent upon a survey, the legal description and grant of easement, and the connection of the private sewer line to the public sewer line. And I'll entertain any questions.
So I think that each of us on the committee went out to Kensington to look at where the easement would go through the property. And we determined, I don't know is it a ravine or steep bank? There's a good word. But it wouldn't be a place that we wouldn't build on, correct?
There would be no reason to build on this location. That's correct.
Okay. So it's a steep bank on the other side of the fencing.
It's about a third. Mr. Helms, you can weigh in. I think you kind of offered, we're thinking probably a 30 to 40-foot drop from the Kensington property to where this easement would be located.
And looks like the proposed line will be at the bottom of the embankment on the bottom side. At the bottom of it, so yeah, so I'd say at least 30 feet drop.
Okay. And as part of this, we will get rid of our private sewer and hook to the UCPW public sewer.
The private sewer line that goes to the public sewer line, yes. We still have private sewer on our property, but when it goes off of our property, it will now be a public connection.
Okay.
So we're reducing our private sewer line of maintenance of about, Mr. Burnett, you can weigh in, but about 400 feet is my estimated calculation.
400 feet of sewer line, is that what you mean?
We have about 400 foot of private sewer line that we will be abandoning.
And the other question, if they agree to connect that, I guess with that drop being from the one manhole down to the lower portion, will they go to another manhole and kind of get more fall? Because that's kind of a steep slope to be going down. Or can we have it in writing?
Mr. Burnett had some conversations with the town about that Monday morning while we were out there. So I don't think we've gotten into the technicalities of that, but we did indicate that we'd want it to be connected from that manhole to the public system. So we would rely on their engineers to determine the best method to do that.
Does the town of Waxhaw have to do an appraisal?
We don't, by general statute, appraisal is not required. The tax value, if you use tax value of the property based on about how many linear feet of easement they're requesting, and it's being typically 20 foot wide, we're estimating a value of between $5,000 and $7,000 based on the
Okay,
tax.
I just knew that we couldn't give away property.
That's correct. That's correct. But what we can do is and I've confirmed with our legal counsel that we can swap the connection, the utility connection for the purchase of the easement.
Okay.
What is the timeline of them doing this work?
They are hoping to bid the project in late May or June. So my estimation is that they would probably try to start midsummer. Now we would have to coordinate the sewer installation. It would not necessarily have to happen at the beginning, but we'd want to coordinate that to coincide with a break that we would have at the school.
I agree.
And
so,
it would
go ahead, Sarah.
Sorry, and it wouldn't be disruptive to school starting back again besides the sewer hookup, like any of the work they're doing?
Yes, no, the work, the construction of the town hall, we'll be in communication with them as their construction activities commence to make sure we're not having any issues with traffic flow and things like that would disrupt the school.
Okay.
Okay. And so if we approve this easement and everything goes as well as, we think it's going to be with all the requirements, would the town of Waxhaw still have to have a pump station or no?
My understanding is that would eliminate the pump station.
Okay. Any other questions? So we need a motion to send this to the full board.
I'll make a motion that staff request the board grant the easement contingent on survey and documents, and also the town of Waxhaw connecting the private sewer line to the UCPW public sewer line.
Is that correct? Yes? Okay.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Those are all the action items. For information, the first thing is the transportation canvas for Union County Public Works.
Yes, and this is another testing the waters item, just like the one we just talked about. Union County Public Works is planning to seek an easement at the transportation campus. They are exploring different options on how to do that. They do have a preferred route. So if you've looked at the attachments, you'd see an option, a route 2 or B and a route 1 or A. That's their labels and things like that that I was following. And so they are wanting to make sure that the committee and it would not have an issue with a sewer easement going across the property. Again, the preferred route is for a sewer line that would go basically along the fence line, the southern fence line of the bus parking lot. And this is right at the edge of the developed area. And it's would be between the pond and the gravel bus parking lot. That would be the more cost-effective route, and that would be less impact to environmental issues.
So this is
Well,
just.
this is UC Public Works asking about this, correct?
So Union County Public Works is the one who's asking about this. What this would ultimately become would be an easement
City of
with the
Monroe.
City of Monroe, because this system would be tied into the City of Monroe's infrastructure.
So is it for the Public Works building? Or is it just,
So the Public Works, the county is interested in serving and having the basin served with sewer. In the past, you may be familiar, I think there was some discussion at the county level of looking at a pump station and trying to serve it that way. But the city has service right at the bottom of this basin. And
Because we
so-
put it there, right? Or we can, so
well,
this is
I found out
funny.
about it and
Yeah.
we went through the process of getting it.
Yes,
The
because
land,
the
City of
county
Monroe.
wouldn't give it to us. Yes. So this is for Union County, right? The county's asking for this.
the county has approached us about pursuing this sewer development.
Why?
Why? Again, it opens up the basin for development, for industrial development.
And will it be annexed into the City of Monroe?
I didn't get
Like
into
we had
that.
to.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be served by the City of Monroe. I don't know if there's any kind of agreement or arrangement between the city or the county. That's something that you'd have to talk with them, or I can talk with them if you want me to.
So when you talk about the words transportation campus, we're still talking about a building there. This is not anywhere near where you would put a facilities building.
Correct. So the facilities building, that property is to the north of this.
Okay.
And so it's not impacted. And what we did when we did the transportation sewer
It would
system,
get served from it, right? The sewer would serve that building.
right. So both the facilities building and the transportation will go into this sewer system that's going to be expanded to serve the basin. So really, there's no impact to the facilities site.
Okay.
I have a
And
question.
with the facilities site, we would have to expand the sewer to the facility site, correct?
No. So we, this line that they're putting in is sized for the basin. The facilities building is still in that basin. This is much larger, than what's going in. In fact, there's a little bit of replacement of sewer line with a much larger sewer to serve this basin as part of this project.
Okay. Sarah, did you have a question?
Yeah, so there's two different options. And so the route 2 or B is the county preferred option, meaning that's what the county would like? Do we have a preference? A staff?
Yeah,
preference?
we are not opposed to that option, the Route 2, which again, from an environmental standpoint and from a cost standpoint, it makes the most sense. There are pros and cons with each, and they're listed on there. That is from Union County Public Works. I've talked with transportation. They don't see an issue. They can work around the construction of it. We also were concerned about manholes and what the height of the manholes are going to be, and is this going to impact our ability to park buses in this area on this easement? And the answer is no, it will not impact that. The manhole heights are going to be flush with the pavement. We can park right on top of them, and there's no issue there.
But the Route 1 is actually along our property line?
It is.
Okay. Thank you.
So do we need any more information to make this decision, or this is for informational right now, but so do we need Mr. Moore and Mr. Burnett to go back for something?
Well, and this is just to expand sewer so they can expand the industrial complex.
I would expect that it can serve the industrial complex or the industrial area, that basin, in which most of it, as I understand, is slated for industrial.
And there's a fence there now currently, right? On Route 2.
That's correct. In
And they
talking
would
with
replace that.
the county, yes. Again, this hasn't been engineered yet. It very well could be that the easement, it could be along the fence line, or the fence line is going to be impacted. They would remove the fence, do the work, reinstall a fence.
So we can't make decisions until we have that. Is that what you're saying?
So we aren't asking for a formal approval of an easement because it hasn't been engineered. Again, we're
Okay.
testing the waters, making sure everybody's good with the concept, because surveying has to happen, design has to happen. And if you're good with the concept of coming across the very bottom of the bus parking lot with an easement and a sewer, then they will proceed that way.
I'm sorry. I just think it's funny. We begged for water and sewer, and now they want to put an easement across our property. Sorry. And we did have to annex into Monroe, and they were wonderful to work with. So
Yeah, I'm just confused if it's either going to be UC Public Works or City of Monroe is going to be requesting this, or who.
so that's a question that I have too.
The easement agreement will be between Union County Board of Education and City of Monroe.
Okay.
So it is Monroe. Okay. Okay. Anything else? Nope. Okay. Is that it? Next on the agenda is the CIP tax change.
Yes, wanted to make everyone aware that we didn't change the dollar amount on the CIP. We simply needed to change the schools that were listed for receiving painting. So there's 4 painting projects on the 23 CIP. We had last year, we had to defer these 4 painting projects, which was Marvin Ridge Middle, Marvin Ridge High School, Rocky River, and Newtown Elementary School. They needed to get pushed to this year, and that didn't happen. What we had in there was Monroe, Henry Bridge, Indian Trail, and Walter Bickett. So we need to push those out 1 year and paint Marvin Ridge Middle, Marvin Ridge High, Rocky River, and Newtown Elementary School. No dollar amount change. So the request is the same. Wanted to make everybody aware of it, and that we have a name change on that. We are also continue to update the future years, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's on the attachment as well. There hasn't been much change on that, additions, and that's not factored into your approval for year one, but did want to make everyone aware of it.
Okay. And Shauna has the amended CIP.
You'll have it after this meeting.
Okay. Any questions? Nope. Okay, next is change order update.
So we had one change order. It is a credit. So those are the nice change orders to get. We did not use some unforeseen allowance money on the OCR ADA project at 2 high schools. So that was 78.
What's the number? There's too many numbers in here. 7,000.
Yeah, too many, one too many zeros. So it's $7,837.
Thank you. Okay. Any questions? Next is surplus. Does anyone have any questions with that?
No.
Okay, and the last item is building and zoning permits for information. Okay, our next meeting is on May 25th, back at 9 a.m., correct? Yes, okay, thank you.
In
Does
person,
anybody have,
PDC.
pardon?
It's in person at the PDC.
Okay, at 9 a.m.,
Yes.
okay. If no one has any other questions, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So
So,
moved.
second.
All those in favor? Aye.